Here's the last type of problem we're going to look at, solving by substitution. Remember, first step, we need one of the variables to be isolated in at least one equation. Well, I look, y is by itself right here, so it's isolated, and it's also isolated here. So both of these are already isolated. Y equals, y equals. So after we figure out they're both isolated, then we're going to substitute one of them into the other. So we're going to take this negative x minus 11, and since y equals negative x minus 11, we're going to take that and we're going to substitute it for y in the first equation. So we end up with, when we rewrite it, negative x minus 11 equals negative 3x plus 5. Now, we're going to get an equation. So the next thing we need to do is we need to solve that equation. You isolate, you substitute, you solve. Now you look at this and you decide what kind of equation it is. Is it a two-step equation? Is it a variable on both sides? Is it a multi-step equation? Well, I look for my equal sign. Here's my equal sign. And I notice I have a variable on the left and a variable on the right. Now this is very similar to what we did in class yesterday, with one difference. These problems, I have numbers on both sides too. So we can do what we talked about when we first learned how to do this, and that is move the variable with the smallest coefficient. This is a negative 1, remember, okay? This is negative 3. What's smaller, a negative 1 or a negative 3? Well, negative 3 is smaller, so that's the one I want to move. How do I move it over? What's the inverse operation to minus 3x? I'm going to add 3x. Whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other. I look over here, negative 1 plus 3. That is 2x minus 11 equals 5. Then it's a two-step equation that I can do with no problem whatsoever. I'm going to add 11 to both sides. 2x is 16. Divide both sides by 2. And x is 8. So I solved. Am I done? No. Remember, your goal is a point. We need an x-coordinate and a y-coordinate. My x-coordinate is 8. So my last step is to substitute again and find the other coordinate. So I get to choose. I'm going to look up here. Neither one of them are particularly pretty. I've got y equals negative 3x plus 5 and y equals negative x minus 11. I don't know. What do you think? Let's do the first one. Negative 3x plus 5. I'm going to plug in 8. Negative 3 times 8 is negative 24. And negative 24 plus 5 is negative 19. So my y-coordinate is negative 19. These two lines, if we were to graph them, would intersect at the point 8, negative 19.